Hi, Griffin. Sandy. Chevy Fish, hello. Scott Backer, nice to see you. Hello, Alice. Happy to see you. James Rutherford, hello, hello. Well, I just did upload a vid. It's not a really good one. The content's okay, but the quality of the video has a number of problems. So I'm going to have to do it again. But I may just leave it up and do another one. Actually, I'm supposed to do a follow up tomorrow. It's the ingredients of a dirted tank. The follow up is to create a tank. So, fooled you all, didn't I? So, I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably just go ahead and do the tank tomorrow and then come back later and redo the substrate ingredients. It's changing routinely enough. And I think I may just find another way to do that. Paul Emmer, hello. Nice to see you. Hi, Taylor. Happy to have you back and on board. Kay Holiday. Hello, Kay. And Holly Gibbs. Lots of good friends here. You sure can get down. Oh, never mind. Let's see. Thomas C. Hello, hello. Tiffany White. Nice to see you, Tiffany. A false start. Yeah, it was kind of funny. I hit 3 o'clock and clicked on, and nobody was there. And now there are like 21 people. So it's you're y'all are coming on strong. Appreciate it. So I'm getting back in gear. I'm feeling better, feeling stronger, still very intensively trying to avoid the plague. Uh, Drinking a lot. This has ice in it, was not a good idea, but it's what I've got. I did my teapot crapped out. I had a really nice teapot and it got knocked on the floor and broke. So I just bought a little 1 cup coffee pot I'm going to use to make tea. We'll see how that works out. Let's see. Sound. Um, I've got an AC unit on. Here, let me turn it off. Is that the sound you're talking about, Alice? The plague, right, exactly. That's what I call it, the plague. Sounds like someone is blowing into a metal pipe. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Has it stopped? I had a little portable AC unit turned on. I just turned it off. Pass the shop 12 times a week. Holly, it would be wonderful to have you in here 12 times a week. That would be terrific. Different sound, really. I don't know. I'm not hearing anything here. Don't know. Chevy Fish said it stopped. Well, it probably was the AC unit. Different sounds, God says. Ta-da. Hi, Cody-san. So anyway, got a couple little goldfish up here. Some of these fancy orandas that I got from Amanda. Precious Tranquility. I hope she stops by today. I did send her a note saying that I would be here. So unless she's out gallivanting, running around, doing stuff, maybe we'll get to see her. Some other friends as well. Paul Lammer, I drive a bus past the shop all week. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I think it was the sound of the AC unit. So, has anyone set up a native tank? We did have one person who set one up in a flower pot, which was pretty cool. Sent some videos. Really interesting. Did a nice job with it. Paul Emmer. Paul says he always. Well, I'll keep an eye open. Every time a bus comes by now, I'll probably be sticking my face in the window. No, Kaler, no word yet. I haven't heard back. I'm also holding my rent. We've had no income for going on 2 weeks. I was here Friday, yesterday, and did some sales, so that was helpful. We were open a little bit today and did a few sales, but it's not enough to pay any bills. Just keep the hired help coming in. Kaler's trying to think of a remote location. Probably the very best locations are ponds. Ponds are lakes, small ponds, um, mainly because there's zero concentration of life, particularly around the shoreline. And you're not going to want to go out deep anyway. If there are plants growing at the shoreline, then there's sure to be fish in there, and sure to be a lot of life in the substrate. So try that kind of spot. Sandy wants to know what a scat operator is. Well, Paul. All right. You honk and I'll wait. Scat driver. So, public transportation. He's a bus driver, Sarasota County. SCAT. Sarasota County something transportation. Hello, Alien World. Nice to see you. I'm hoping, Kaylor, to hear back this coming week about the AC. You were saying there's a big pond on the other side of my neighbor's house in their woods, an anti-tick land. Yeah, probably the best way to do that is to wear long pants, and when you come back, throw them in the washing machine and check yourself carefully. Take a shower, a hot shower. Um, I used to live on a big estate that had cattle that roamed free. They were actually the lawn service, kept all the pathways well clipped, but it was loaded with ticks. And I got in the habit when I came in of stripping, throwing everything in the washing machine, and jumping in the shower. And that did a pretty good job. Flea and tick collar on your ankle. What a good idea. Coffee refill, says Alien World. Oh, Sandy is a golf transit driver in Ontario. Yeah, the color of that pond sounds perfect. If it's a wooded pond, it's bound to have a lot of really, really interesting stuff in it. You could also spray the your shoes and pant legs with a bug spray, and that should help as well. Oh dear, Kayla. Don't let any ticks bite you. My God. Let's see. Big J's here. Hi, Big J. And Rohan. Hello, Rohan. Yes, Kayla, we had a few customers in today. Uh, I'm getting routine calls, so whenever possible, I try to arrange for the customer to come in when someone is here taking care of the animals. Kayla, I'm having trouble with things jumping around here. Paul Emmer is asking, my 38 gallon started leaking. Can I use regular silicone or does it have to be aquarium grade? That's a really good question, Paul. It depends entirely on the leaking. Um, you do not want to use silicone that has an antifungal or an anti-algae chemical in it because that will affect your water column. Um, and just plain silicone is what you want anyway. Swish the substrate back, put the dab silicone where you think the leak is and press it in. until the leak stops, and then cover it over with sand. That'll also help to seal it. You can get away with a lot of that kind of treatment with pinhole leaks, so very, very tiny drips. Anything that's more open that involves a seam opening, you pretty well have got to break the tank down and start over again. But for tiny leaks, if you can catch them right away, you can usually stop it in its tracks. Carol, the amount of poison you're going to get in the pond from your boots is so insignificant as to be of no consequence. Protect yourself first. Redfish, bluefish. Well, hello, hello. I missed your video or live stream Friday. I did come in later and watch it. I just love what you're doing. It's so exciting. Thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy it. Silicone One, Lowe's or Walmart. It's not what that says. Nevertheless. Oh dear. So I think we're going to try to start opening this week. My employee is complaining already about the heat. Not that I blame her, it's nasty back there. But we can mitigate it. We got a big fan and we have a big overhead door. So I think we can mitigate it. And then some smaller fans to kind of move it through. It's a fabulous breeze today. Hello, Aqua Balls. Nice to see you. Alice says give her a fan. Yeah, she's got a fan. Got a little one right at the packing station. I've got a big one overhead, and then I have a giant commercial fan. It's one of those 6 foot blade fans that we can turn on. The only problem with it is it's pretty noisy. So I'm going to set up a new tank tomorrow. What would you like to see? I've got um, I've got a nice 60. It's a 55 gallon tall. It's about 60, 65 gallons. Nice big tank. I have a tank I would love to set up. I don't have a stand for it. It's a 120 gallon octagon. It's currently sitting on the floor. Moat Marine has one set up that they use for seahorses. And I do have currently a very large collection of local seahorses that are really quite nice and doing very, very well. I'm real excited about them. Thomas says, am I shipping plants? Yeah, I sure am. I've been shipping plants for almost a month, depending on where you are. If it's freezing, they're not going to survive. But if you can give me an idea of the temperature, then I'm happy to do that. Huckwell says, a dirted tank that I did almost 2 months ago is growing amazing. I did a little maintenance on it last night. It really is amazing the kind of growth you get with the dirted. Um, just really be protective of that substrate. Try not to stir it up, and it'll continue being productive literally for years. Scenic Pets and Aquariums, hello, hello. And Anthony's Fishy Friends would love to have sea dragons. Wouldn't we all? I can get them. They're only $5,000 each. Enough said. I'd not want to get one of those and lose it. They're difficult to ship. They tend to get mouth damage very easily, and then they can't eat and die. Chewy, my friend over in China keeps a few species of parasitic catfish. Apparently, those are available in the hobby. What U.S. states would ban them? Who would allow? They're from the Amazon. Oh no, they're available. I see them on lists. I don't swim in my fish tank, so I'm not too worried about them. But I've not bought them. They're not particularly interesting looking fish. They're kind of tiny and thin. Uh, Scenic Pets is in Minnesota. Says things ought to be defrosted pretty soon to be able to do a dirty tank. That would be cool. Kaler's Aquatics prepaid. Yeah. Alice says sea dragons look so cool. They really do. They're just amazing animals. I was watching a video a year or two ago about an Aussie who rescues them, finds them around piers and whatnot. Thought that'd almost be worth moving to Australia for. Sandstone for the cat. Well, you're gonna have to break it down. You have to pumice it or pummel it, turn it into sand. I don't think sandstone will work unless it's a solid base. The whole idea is to prevent water flowing through the dirt. Um, but you can probably turn sandstone into sand pretty easily, and that would certainly work. The Candera assa is chewy, gets up to 6 inches. They're very interesting hobby of punching holes in their prey. Interesting indeed. Have you ever been swimming in one of your tanks? Yes, in fact, I have. I have a 500-gallon that I had to get into in order to do some planting. That was fun. Anthony's fish friend wants an Asian arowana. Yeah, me too. We cannot have them here in Florida. The only arowana they'll allow us to sell is the silver, not even the, what's it, black or blue, just the silver. Sandy pads and roads at the, yeah, that would be perfect. Any kind of sand at all, so long as it's preferably inert. Um, there's some sands that are calcium based, like beach sand that's not inert. Um, just try to do something that's not going to dissolve in the water, because what it'll do is it'll form a crust on the surface and prevent any flow at all from coming through. The benefit of sand is that it does not crust, and even though it's tiny particles, it allows a natural flow through the tank. The video I just finished on Thursday, which has over 300 hits already, that's kind of exciting, talks about exactly how that water flows through and that it's drawn through by the animals that are living in it. So you need to just make sure that whatever sand bed you're using or sand you're using, that it's inert, that it does not dissolve in the water. I just completed a video. In fact, it posted just a few minutes before I came on. Created confusion. Number of people thought I was doing a video and not a live stream. It was just kind of coincidental that they came on simultaneously. But the video is an attempt to do an updated ingredients, dirted substrate ingredients. And after finishing it and reviewing it, I'm really going to have to do it again. There were some technical issues that just made it almost unbearable to try to watch it. But I'm going to follow through first and do a planted tank tomorrow. I will figure out what to do it in. Maybe a bunch of little ones. That would be fun. I do have some nice bell jars. I could do 3 or 4 bell jars planted with shrimp or something in it. That would be pretty cool. I'll look at that possibility as well. Chewy says, if I had my choice between the legal Asian arowana in Canada or a dwarf snakehead, I'd pick the snakehead. It says, too much worry with 3 grand jumping out of the tank. Too true. Very, very true. And the dwarf snakeheads, which are illegal, I think, virtually everywhere in the States, are a magnificent little fish. The only thing really close to it is the pike cichlid. And most of the pike cichlids are legal. In fact, I don't know any that are not legal. But they're not shipped in much variety. We can get a few common varieties, but it's rare to get the rare ones. Gonna have to talk to my old world supplier and see if he can find a way to get some. Do I make my own tanks? No, I do not. Kaylor just sent $5 for the employee fund. All right. The employee will be happy to hear it. Thank you so much, Kaylor. Appreciate your gift. Aquaballs is using all-purpose sand from Home Depot for $3 a bag. It doesn't dissolve, but it is full of clay. um, if it's what I think it is. Make sure when you're creating your tank and putting the sand in, it can have clay in it, dust in it, whatever. If you put it in dry, right on top of the dirt, and then cover that with a plastic bag or a towel or a bowl or anything that will keep the water from going down into the sand and stirring it up, then you're going to be okay. In fact, you really be ahead of the game because the sand with particulate matter in it, dust or clay or whatever, is really a better quality for as a substrate because it contains nutrients and also a wider range of of filtration, more fine kinds of filtration. So you can use that. I've got a couple of bags of play sand. I think I'll do that tomorrow. Put play sand on the substrate. I'm also going to be using cat litter below the sand and on top of the dirt substrate. This is the red bag from Walmart, which does not dissolve and is supposed to be a really good nitrate sponge. So we'll see how that works out. Aquaballs, thinking of dirting my 185 bow front. It's empty now. That's a nice size tank. Is that a 185? Is that, how big is that? Is that like a 6 foot? That's a big tank. That would certainly be ideal. For a tank that size, I would put 2 to 3 inches of soil in and then cap it with 3 to 4 inches of sand. Um, the deeper the substrate in a big tank, the better it's going to work. Particularly if you put fish in that have a tendency to stir things up a little bit. I've not noticed, even in tanks where they're like African cichlids. I typically don't dirt African cichlids tanks, but I have in the past, and it really does not create a problem. Kaler says my new clay organic soil pool sand tank has crazy plant growth. I'm not surprised. That sounds really, really good. I like it. Clay is an absolutely fabulous additive for substrate. It's loaded with minerals. Um, the place to put it is on the very bottom and put your soil mixture on top of the clay, cap that with the red bag cat litter, about an inch, and then cap that with sand. So now you've got 4 layers coming up. Um, just make sure your sand bed is at least 2 inches. Sean asks how I'm doing today. I'm doing really well, Sean. I'm feeling so much better. I'm getting so much sleep. I can't go to sleep anymore when I go to bed. I laid in bed until 5 o'clock this morning, then finally slept through till about 10, and I'm not tired. Typically, in the past, I would be exhausted by this time in the afternoon, but I'm really feeling pretty good. I'm trying to do a little more walking, trying to get some strength built up. It's coming along. It's slow, but I am doing better. Thank you. Aquafunk. Hi, Aquafunk. Calling me Lulu? My goodness. Nobody ever called me Lulu before. Louie, maybe. Not Lulu. Aquafunk, nice to see you. Good to have you with us. Kaler, kitty litter. Yeah, but there's only one brand that apparently does not dissolve. I guess it's fired at a higher temperature or something. But I haven't tried this yet, but I've been told by a number of people that that the red bag cat litter from Walmart does not dissolve in water. So we're going to give it a try and see how that works out. It is a good nitrate sponge. A lot of research has been done on that. Aquaballs, after washing my sand, what happened? I do add red clay powder under the dirt and bacteria and some carbon powder. Interesting. The carbon powder, the very best quality carbon you can get, is not going to last more than a few days to a week. It is a great substrate, so that's not a bad thing. You don't need to wash your sand though. And there's no real advantage to washing this sand. In fact, the advantage is to keep it dry because it's easier to install level and even on the substrate if it's dry. And then cover it carefully before adding water. Sandy is saying a storm's coming. The light says blink. Hope you don't lose power. I do too. We haven't had a storm here in Florida in months. Somebody up above was making a comment about the panhandle of Florida and the lack of rain. I don't know if I want to go all the way back up and try to find it. Well, Lorenzo is here. Hello, hello. I guess I do need to go back. Sailfin, hi Sailfin. Fish Tropic is here. Choo choo. Chewy says, and a pike cichlid, if it bites you, draws blood, unlike a dwarf snakehead. So I don't get it. Ah, dwarf snakeheads come from India. They couldn't survive. I know. Well, it's important, I think, to understand that all of these bureaucratic, virtually all of the bureaucratic bans on this, that, and the other thing are based not on knowledge or science, but on fear, anxiety, and the desire to control. Do I have Instagram? I don't. I have an Instagram account. I've never used it. Don't understand the first thing about it. I was thinking about that sail pen just the other day. I need to get into it and see what it's all about. Aquaball says Kaler's is awesome. Could not agree more. I need you to put a coffee mug on your Teespring. Teespring. Coffee mug on my Teespring. Aha, okay. And we're back to do I make my own tanks. Okay. Coming forward. Aquawalls washes it for 3 hours until there's no more clay. I know it's cheap, but it's labor intensive. My best advice is to not wash it at all. Just put it in dry, cover it when you put the water in, cap it. It's the clay's not going to bleed through. It's going to continue to precipitate. It's heavier than water. As long as water is not flowing through it, I don't think you'll have a problem. Sean ODT, hello, hello. Yeah, these really are amazing tanks. They're tanks that last forever. They're inordinately healthy. It's rare to get any kind of disease at all in a dirted tank. You might get ick, but even ick, I found when it goes down into the substrate, it gets eaten up by the animals living in the substrate. So you don't even really have much of a problem. I have on occasion, but typically not much of a problem with ick even. Let's see. Teresa Cookie, hello, hello, hello. Total Tropicals TV. Hi there. Who's who's Fish Tropic? Quit smoking. Good job. Good job. I quit years ago by killing myself. I was in Mexico City. This is a great story. This was back in 1974, I believe. Took my then wife to Mexico City. We also drove out to Taxco and wound up in Acapulco. It was a great trip. But we hit Mexico City the first night, walking around with nothing to do. I don't even think there was much open. Stopped in a liquor store and bought not a fifth, but a quart of tequila with the worm in the bottom, the good stuff, and a carton of Mexican cigarettes. Now, these guys are about the size of a filterless camel. The tobacco is black, and there are 12 packs in a carton. So, went back to the hotel room with nothing to do for the evening, and I was chugging the tequila and chain smoking the cigarettes hour after hour. I woke up the next morning fully aware of what it would take to kill myself with tobacco. The booze had kind of worn off. That wasn't bothering me so much. But the nicotine was clogging up my lungs. And that was the last cigarette I ever smoked. I read about some research later on, did drink tequila thereafter for a number of years, finally laid off hard liquor. The research involved a university in which they put students in an auditorium with a carton of cigarettes and had them chain smoke. They found that 50% of the students quit smoking after this experiment. It really does a number on you. You can OD on cigarettes without killing yourself as a way of being able to realize how absolutely dreadful it really is. All right, back to the comments here. Sister Lockmo, hello, hello. Says any story that starts with by killing myself has got to be good. Yes, I love telling that story. Uh, Total Tropics is saying, Teresa, how are things down under the down under? The Mexican pottery clay contains iron because it's red. Well, I suppose Mexican pottery clay. Yeah, that would be real good. I got a lot of it too. Um, I did scrunch up clay at some point. What I'm looking right now is organic um, leaf and twig cover for my some of my dirted tanks, particularly for the Blackwater tank. I want to be able to get about an inch of of organic cat material, twigs, leaves, that sort of stuff on top of the sand bed in order to create a better environment for microscopic fauna as well as baby fish. Sandy's lights are blinking. Let's see. I'm backing up to see what I missed after I told my story. While I told my story. Will brine shrimp, Sister Lockmo, will brine shrimp hatch in an infusoria jar? Yeah, you want to put airstone in. That seems to help a lot. Chewy, I have a bottle of wine, an ounce of medical grade marijuana, and a pizza for today. The wine and the pizza will be gone. Oh dear. Medical grade marijuana. Father Fish's Instagram. Well, Alice, now you're going to make me go to it and put something on it. I had a young woman who was helping me out about a year ago, and she created a number of accounts on a number of platforms, uh, and I never found out what they were. Every once in a while, I'll run into one, and that's one, the Instagram. Fish Tropic says, Chewy, how are you holding up? Scenic Pet's brother is running bulldozer. Marina says, if Google had allowed me to have more first names, we would altogether have to buy more wider screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, Dilla, I'm not going to count. 5, 6. Let's see who's on the phone. Speaker, Father Fish here.
Hey Lou, how are you?
Hey Frank, how are you?
Okay, bud. Just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm on a live stream right now, and you're on it. You're on it.
I bet.
Yeah, you are. Or your
Okay.
voice.
Well, hey, I got that necklace for you made.
Oh, nice.
Are you streaming from home?
Yeah. No, I'm at the shop.
Oh boy, I didn't think you could get out.
Well, I'm getting out a little bit. Nobody's here, so it's a safe place to be. And it overcomes the boredom of staying at home.
Right.
Let me introduce you here a minute. Frank is,
Hey,
yeah, hold on a minute, Frank. I want to introduce you. We got about 40 people watching. Frank is probably the best collector I've ever known. He collects continuously and everywhere. and he remembers everything. So he can tell you where to find virtually every native, not just fish but reptile in Florida. So you're still up in Tampa, Frank?
No, Lou, right now I am actually down in Port Charlotte.
Oh, you're at your mother's?
Yes, I am. I came down to take care of mom and my stepdad. She's 89, she's 54.
Oh, great.
So I came down to help them. I'm heading back up there today or tomorrow. I have an appointment tomorrow at noon, and then again on the 2nd. But I'll be back right after that. Coming back down Hoover.
Yeah, well, give me a call when we can get together on your way through.
Well, Lou, I'm going until what day were you coming out of your sequester?
More or less every day for an hour or two. But I'm only coming to the shop and there's nobody here, so it's working out okay.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, do you have any Lysol there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll bring you by a necklace. I'll drop it off and keep a good 6 foot distance from
That
you.
would be
And
it'd be great fun to see you.
yeah, man, it's so nice to see you too. I will see you either tonight or tomorrow. Kind of early tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll drop it off at your shop and call you and let you know where I put it. Okay.
Thank you, Frank. Nice to hear
All
from
right,
you.
bud.
Take care.
You too. You too.
I know. Frank's a good friend. He's in a program in Tampa for the last year, so I've really missed him and missed going out and collecting with him. But I'm going to be in good shape to do that when he is going to be available again. Let's see. Let me move forward here. What time is it? We're getting close. We try to get to the bottom. Chewy talking about edibles. I don't know what they're referring to. I just missed that whole conversation. Let's see. Chewy can't drink whiskey. I saw that much, and then I lost it. Ooh, let's see. Total Tropics TV, going under the thumb, but will resist to the bitter end. Been prep for years and can dig in. Have you ever seen the New Zealand movie Sleeping Dogs? That's where we're at. Interesting. I'll look it up. Chewy, the old party days of playing the clubs off West Coast Canada. You party there, but on the road doing concerts day after day. You don't get to drink much. Jovi Vilas. Hi, Father Fish. Well as well. Hello, everyone. Pray everyone stays covered by God during this time. Amen, Jovi. Amen indeed. Susan. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you. Kaylor's flirting with the idea of a bird. No idea where to look for birds. If I did, I'd have more. Let's see. All right, we're going to jump to the bottom here pretty quick. Okay. I know. I reached the bottom, Alice. I did it. I found the bottom. Sadie Pets. Well, it's been great fun being with you guys. I always so thoroughly enjoy it. I wish we could do this in a way that was where we had audio, so people could actually comment. I do have the ability to bring people on, and we could do that. Let's make an effort next time. I'll promote it and see if we can get maybe a few people to come on screen with me. Obviously, the phone is the way to work, but typically that's only one person. I guess you can do group phone calls. I don't really know how to do that. Sister Lockmo says if I put an airline in the jar, it smells bad. Well, start fresh, Sister Lockmo. It shouldn't. There should not be an odor unless the eggs are rotting. So start fresh. The eggs will hatch in 24 hours. There really should not be much odor at all. Chewy, back when I was young, my friends, old university school brother, and us would go out collecting. It was not illegal then. He is an entomologist. Hmm. Yeah, I think we need to get all of the aquatic people in Canada together and do a mass collecting trip. Let them arrest 5,000 people. In Maryland, it's just as bad. A little boy cannot, or a little girl cannot go in the creek and turn over a rock in a creek in the state of Maryland without violating state law. How thoroughly and completely idiotic. Idiotic. These are extremists that need to be imprisoned as tyrants. Tyrants. If ever we needed a guillotine, now's the time. Uh, you know, I don't mean it, but I mean it. We need to do something about these crazy people who are just trying to control everything they possibly can. Alice says I've got green algae on my tank glass that's almost impossible to remove. Um, use a credit card. It's amazing how effective credit cards are. You can also use a single edge razor blade. The credit card works well on acrylic. Single edge razor blade will get that stuff off the glass. Lickety split. Oh, you can collect if you're under 12. Well, that's interesting. So you take your child with you, or a child. Don't piss off Father. Go, Kaler. All right, we're done here. Thank you, guys. I love you all. You're wonderful friends. It's a delight being with you. I'm going to be. I'm trying to get back in the mode of posting a video every day. I want to get back on track here and see if I can't get the momentum built back up. It's slowed down over the last couple of months, so I want to get so we can start getting an upward curve going again. But I'll be back. We'll do a live stream on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So long as I'm hale and healthy and hearty and happy, we'll be here. God bless you all. Nice to see you. Wonderful to be with you. See you again soon. God bless. Bye bye now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I see you, Alice. I saw that. Yes, indeed. I will. I haven't yet, but I will. 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.